Welcome to the Financial Coaches Podcast, where we talk about how to build your practice from startup to scale up while being the kind of coach your clients crave. Finally, a podcast for financial coaches. Here are your hosts, Maria Casillas and Cody Sizemore.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Financial Coaches Podcast. I'm Maria Casillas, your co-host, and I'm excited to finally welcome back my incredible co-host, Cody Sizemore. Cody, we have missed you the last couple of weeks, and I'm so glad that you're here with our listeners today. Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Missed you too, and I'm back.
I know. We love it. And I know our listeners love it too. They got a little taste of me by myself last week. They got to hear a really great interview the week before. But I know that they're excited to have you back with all of your incredible insights. Before we get into some of the stuff that we want to talk about today, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate you, especially our every weekers, and we're glad that you keep coming back week after week after week. We are excited to continue to have people joining our Facebook group. It is the Financial Coaches Community by New Money Habits, and it's growing every single day. And every single time I'm in there, I see that more and more people are asking questions. So we encourage your participation there as well. Now, Cody, you've been gone for 2 whole weeks. Tell me what's been going on in your world. What kinds of stuff have you been hearing in the community? What are people really needing to know that we're going to tackle today?
Yeah. So I take a step back because of like a medical issue, but I'm good. And I'm back to normal, which is great.
Awesome.
But during that time, I've been actually quite busy. Just been, keeping the business moving, talking to a lot of, new clients, talking to a lot of new coaches as well. And I was thinking that because I've been talking to some newer coaches as of recently, I've noticed a certain trend with new coaches in particular.
Okay.
And it's almost every single person I talk to when they're first starting out, I ask them like, well, what are you doing? What are some things that you're getting luck with? What are some things that you're not seeing very many results with? And I feel like it is like 9 out of 10 of new coaches all say the same thing. And they all do the same thing, and they all have it completely wrong.
Okay. Well, if the numbers are that high, then I definitely think our listeners need to hear what it is that all of these coaches are doing wrong.
Yeah. So it always comes down to, anyone who listens to this podcast knows that like one of my biggest ways that I market my practice is through social media, right? Like, there is that boots on the ground approach, and that works for a lot of people. It's just not my style. So I'm very much in like the online space kind of thing. So, a lot of coaches will ask me like, what are you doing with social media and how are you getting success with it and all this kinds of stuff. And I'll always turn it around and I'll say, well, what do you do? And what kind of, results are you getting? Right. I'm just being a coach kind of thing. Right.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, Maria, it seems like every single person says, well, I've been posting on my Facebook business page, and I try and post like maybe like once a week or, maybe like twice a week, something like that. I'm not really getting very much traction from that though. Like the engagement's really low. I'm not getting any clients from it and all of this kinds of stuff. Right. So that's exactly what you should expect if that's all you do. That's exactly what you should expect. You should expect to get 0 clients that way. Zero. And this is why I wanted to talk about it, because I think that this is like, I don't know. I feel like anytime someone starts a new business, whether it be a coaching practice or any other type of business, they automatically kind of like default to where they say, all right, I'm going to create a business page, and then I'm going to post on that business page about my business, and people are going to see that, and I'm just going to get all these new clients and all this new business because that's all I need to do. Right?
Yep.
And that's just not the case.
This doesn't happen that way.
It's not the case. So I'll tell you this much, Maria. Can you guess, just take a wild guess as to how many clients that I have gotten through my Facebook business page? Now, let me give you a little bit of context. Okay. I've been coaching for over 4 years. It's about 4.25 years. And I think if I had to put a rough estimate on how many people I've brought on as clients, I would say 300 clients, something like that. So of that 300 clients over that amount of time, can you guess as to how many clients came from my Facebook business page?
Well, given your setup, my instinct says 0. And also, this could be a trick question. So in the interest of not overthinking this, I'm going to give you a little leeway and I'm going to say 1. Was it 0? See, I should always go with my instinct. I'm telling you.
It's a big whopping 0. 0 clients from my Facebook page. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Now, I will say it's kind of a gray area because I do run some Facebook ads, and that is through the Facebook business page. So I guess you could say like that maybe takes a little bit in there.
So but there's honestly, my 1. I'm just going to throw that out there. I might actually be right.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of space. Like that's paid marketing, whereas like what we're kind of talking about is organic marketing. Right? So when we're talking about organic marketing and we're not wanting to put money behind a post or something like that, and most new coaches don't want to do that because they're just starting out, right? Sure. That's what we're talking about here. And yeah, it's 0. It's 0. So we have to ask ourselves the question, why is it 0? And why do people have such a hard time growing their practice, getting new clients through their Facebook business page, if that's what we've been kind of conditioned to think that that's what we should do? So we have to ask that question. So I'm going to answer that question with asking you a series of questions. Okay. All right. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of Facebook, the entity of Facebook. How does Facebook make their money?
I don't really know, but I'm going to guess they make their money through things such as ads, but they also gather our data, sell that to other advertisers, use the algorithms to figure out who we are and then sell that and make their money that way, I'm guessing.
Okay, so advertising, gathering data to sell to advertisers, ads. Yep. Right? Okay. Okay, great. So that's how Facebook makes their money, right? And what does Facebook as a corporate entity, what do they actually care about?
I'm guessing bottom dollar profit for money. The people who are investing in them.
Money, right? Like, so you just got to follow the money, right? So that's what Facebook is in business for, to make money. And how do they make their money? Through advertisements, right? So put yourself in Facebook's shoes. If you're Facebook and you see that someone has a business page, do you want to push out their content for free? Or would you rather charge them to have it being pushed out?
You will be charging them.
Because they're a business, right?
Yep.
Makes sense. Okay. But then what about all these people on Facebook? Not the business pages, but just like the regular people, right? You already answered the question of how does Facebook make money off of people if they're not selling anything, they're not advertising, they're just consuming and they're just on the platform, right? The way they make money off of people is by showing them ads, right? That's how they make their money. But if the entire news feed was just full of just ad after ad after ad after ad after ad, no one would be on Facebook.
It is getting to feel a little bit more like that lately. Just throwing that out there.
It's definitely increased over the years, but they've been very slow with it, right? So the consumers don't want to see all the ads all the time. Some ads is fine and it's expected, but consumers do not want that. So the only way to keep people on the platform for as long as possible is for them to have a few things. Number one is to see what their friends are doing. That's why you go on Facebook in the first place. You want to see what your friends are up to, right? But then also, there's something about that notification bell that's just really, really enticing. We love our notifications. We pull up Facebook and there's no notification bell going on. It's like, bummer. I'm going to hop on TikTok instead or Instagram instead, right? So you do that instead. But if you hop on Facebook and your Facebook notification bell says that 9+ notifications, ooh, it just feels so good. It feels so good. So then you start going through all these notifications and you start going through all the folders and all this kinds of stuff. And then you start scrolling because you want to see what else everyone else is up to and all that kind of stuff. That's how Facebook gets us to stay on their platform, is by showing us what we want to see, which is our other friends, but then also giving us what we want, which is acknowledgement from our friends, right? And the longer that we're on their platform, the more ads that they see, or that we see, which means the more money that Facebook makes.
Sure.
You follow me so far?
I'm following you.
Okay.
I'm grinning because even the stuff that you're saying is absolutely true. And it's so true that it's almost annoying. Because like I'll jump on and I'll see 9+ notifications and I'll realize like 8 of them are absolutely made up. They're not even things that I ever wanted to see. Or that I ever will care about. So yeah, that's why I'm grinning over here.
Yeah. So here's a question for you again. Okay. So if I was a new coach and I was trying to inform people of who I am and what I do and why I do it and what kind of results I can get for people, would I go to a page that has 0 reach or very little reach because they want money from me in order to have that? Or would I go to a page that Facebook actually pushes my content out to people because they want us to get notifications, aka engagement, to stay on their platform longer? Which page would I want to go for? The business or the personal?
The personal.
The personal, right? So this is a long-winded explanation to basically say that the biggest mistake that you're making with Facebook is trying to build your practice through your business Facebook page. Instead, you should grow your practice through your personal Facebook page, because that's where you're going to get the results. That's where you're going to get all of the, the visibility, the engagement, the comments, the likes, the conversation starts there. Everything goes through the personal Facebook page. So that's one thing that I just wanted to say. Okay. I have another thing I want to say, but I want to just give you a moment to respond to any of that if you'd like.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the second thing you want to say is. So if I beat you to it, certainly let me know. So a couple things. One is a question, and then the other one is a statement as to where the question is coming from. So I know that a lot of people are really concerned that, I don't want all of my personal stuff out on Facebook. I don't want everyone to be able to see that. And so I actually want to use my personal page for, sharing content with my friends and family. So the question that comes along with that is, does it have the same effect that you are talking about, Cody, when you keep something public versus only to friends? In other words, could you only keep your, your personal stuff to friends only, and then anything that has to do with your business, keep that public? Will it still have the same effect that you're just discussing?
Yes. Yep. And you can just do that with just a simple privacy setting. When you make the post, you can choose like public, friends and friends, or, whatever it might be.
Yes.
So it takes like 3 seconds to set that up.
If that. And even I know how to do it. So, you guys are all good.
And that's
hey now. Wow. Hey, welcome back. You were really missed. So I actually bring that up so that people can hear that and know that that is just a 3-second thing. And so if that is a concern of yours, then you can use this little workaround in order to still do what Cody's talking about, but not worry about, the weirdos in the world seeing all the pictures of your kids, for example.
Yeah. And then another thing too, sorry, can you hear that bell?
I do.
Okay.
That's okay.
The listeners are getting an inside view in my life. That's my cat. My cat. Her name's Clarice. So disregard Clarice. Okay. But another thing I wanted to say too, and I actually have a few more things. Another concern that I hear people say sometimes when I talk to them about this is that they say, well, I don't want to like litter my Facebook page with just a bunch of like business stuff. You know, like I don't want to be seen as like this pushy salesperson or all these kinds of things. And what I have to say about that is two things. Number one, you shouldn't care about what people think, first and foremost. If this is something that you're passionate about and something that you really want to share with people, that's literally what Facebook is for. Period. That's who you are. Period.
Yeah.
So who cares what other people think? You know, like maybe you'll get some people who unfollow you. Maybe you get some people who unfriend you. Cool. They didn't really like you in the first place. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like the people who really like you, they're gonna appreciate how passionate you are about something, and especially with something that helps people as well. So don't care about what other people think. The other side of things is also, it's not like you're going to just like completely just make your personal page a pseudo business page. Like you can still post personal things. And actually it's a good thing to have that mix, because there will be some people who are friends of yours on Facebook who don't care about your coaching practice. They have zero interest in it, but they like you. So like they may not interact with your business posts, but they will interact with you, the post of you posting a photo with your family kind of thing. And then there's going to be people who like both sides of that, to where they love the family stuff, but they also really appreciate the financial coaching stuff. And those are the people that are really, really awesome. Like, that's what really helps the algorithm and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So that's another thing that, I think is kind of like a hurdle for some people. It's like a fear, but really it's just like, you don't need to be fearful. The people who like you will support you and cheer you on and support you. The people who don't like you, they weren't supposed to be your friends in the first place. So,
and it's from the user standpoint, it's really easy to scroll on by. If you really don't like something, it's really not that difficult to just keep on scrolling and just move on past it and wait for them to post something that is their personal life or whatever. So you can't control what other people do. Don't make that your mission.
Yep, definitely. The other thing I wanted to say too is that I've done a lot of bashing on the business page side of things so far. And I'm not a huge fan of the business page personally. But I will say that it does have a purpose. It does have a purpose. Dude, my cat is just scratching away. I don't know what's going on. She doesn't have fleas. She's an inside cat. Anyways, it does have a purpose. So this is how I use my Facebook business page. I still post to it. And one thing that you don't want to do is do like this shortcut kind of thing, to where like you make a post to your business page and then you share it to your personal page and you're like, I posted to my personal page. No. Facebook is going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, this person shared something from a business page and they didn't pay us for it. We're not throwing it out there. So you want to post organically to both the business page and your personal page. It can be the exact same post, but just originate it organically from each source.
Copy and paste, don't share.
Yeah. That's exactly what I do.
Okay. Now, I'm going to interrupt you for a second, because this part I really have zero idea on, and so I'm curious. Does it benefit the algorithm if other people share that post from your business page?
Slightly, but not a ton.
Okay. So no need to ask people to do it.
Yeah, if they were to share the same post and they shared it from your business page as compared to from your personal page, the personal one would do better. Side by side every single time.
Yes. But if there's somebody who follows your business page but is not a friend of yours or doesn't see it on your personal page, because that happens sometimes too, just given algorithms and stuff, then it won't hurt anybody to push that out. But it might not help as much. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So utilizing the business page, I basically use it as a few things. Number one is like a bulletin board. So I still post to it to, show that it's an active business. And, there are some people that it does reach. It doesn't reach as much as the personal, but it does reach some people. So it's like a bulletin board. I also have like reviews come through my business page as well. Because people will look at that. Like you'll never find a client that comes from the business page, but you will find a client that maybe goes to your business page after they found you initially to do more research on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I use the business page. It's almost like a validation kind of thing.
Yeah, creates credibility for you.
Credibility, yes, that's what it is. Credibility, yes. So you shouldn't abandon the Facebook business page. You just shouldn't put emphasis on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I know you didn't bring this up. I'm going to, because it always is intriguing to me as to why we have that mentality that we need to have a separate business page versus personal page. And I wonder if some of that scripts just comes from the idea of, like, when we talk about money, for example, that, we insist that, hey, you better keep your business expenses separate from your personal expenses, et cetera, because there is that needed delineation. And so I wonder if that just kind of crosses over into this whole idea about social media and stuff as well. And so it's just that one of those things. Yes, your business is absolutely something that is separate from you. It is also a part of you. And when it comes to social media, you're not putting out there any different vibes. You're just basically working the system and saying, we understand how the algorithm works. So we're going to make sure that we work that for ourselves. But it's still like, don't do this with your money. Okay. Just do it only with your social media. So are there any other thoughts that you have about where that script comes from? Just out of curiosity.
I think that it's partially that. But I also will say that I think it's conditioned as well, because the people who have been on Facebook since the earlier days of Facebook, so maybe like 2009 to like 2013 to 14, somewhere in there, right? At that time, when Facebook was like the new hot thing that everyone was on, and there wasn't all these different platforms, like it was really just Facebook, MySpace, just stuff like that, right? Yeah. During that time, Facebook wasn't as concerned about making money. They were more so concerned about growing the platform. So they weren't, restricting the outreach of business pages as much. I remember when I had like a business page, it was technically like a band page because I was in a band. But it was like a Facebook band page, right? So it was a business page, but it was my band's business page. During that time, our organic reach was incredible. But nowadays, I still have a lot of friends who are in bands, and they tell me all the time, they're like, there's no point in posting on our Facebook page because unless we boost the post, it doesn't get out to anyone.
Yeah, so, you got to pay to play these days.
Exactly. So I think that it's even just our minds were just conditioned that, hey, it was so good and that's what you did 10 years ago, that it's the same now. And it's just not. Yeah, so I think that's a big part of it too.
All right. Very good. Well, it doesn't really matter where it all came from. It always just is one of those curiosities of mine. We know where we are today. So I really appreciate you, Cody, and sharing some of those little tips and tricks for our listeners today. So we encourage you, if you don't have a Facebook business page, go out and create one so it can quote unquote legitimize you, right? And give you that credibility. But also, don't hone in on it. Like, that's not where you really need to be. Make sure that you are using the trick instead about keeping your personal versus public posts separate and using the public posting for your business. And you can use your private posting for your business too. Don't get me wrong. You just don't want to use your public posting for your private stuff if there's something you don't want everyone in the world to see. So.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for giving me a warm welcome back. I missed you guys.
You're welcome.
And, I'll have to catch you guys next week. If you listen to this episode and then you listen to the episode next week, you will be in a very exclusive and prestigious club that we call our Every Weekers. So we hope to see you next week. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Financial Coaches Podcast, brought to you by New Money Habits and Sizemore Financial Coaching. Submit your questions to our hosts by emailing podcast@newmoneyhabits.com. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of future episodes and join our growing group of like-minded coaches on Facebook. And until next time, happy coaching. Music provided by Summer School.